Hello everyone, welcome to the Anime Recap Media YouTube channel. Please like the video, subscribe to help our channel and enjoy this full video.
Young Megumin witnessing a pink-haired elf mage defeating a monster using explosion magic. Upon seeing the effects of the spell, Megumin wished to become just like the mage. She also cherishes the smaller things in life, like finding 3 missing puzzle pieces. The puzzle was what freed the mage from her cell. The mage asks Megumin if wants anything and Megumin asks for world domination, which the mage obviously cannot give her, and says no. Megumin asks to become the Demon King, which the mage cannot make her. However, the mage asked Megumin not to pursue explosion magic as it was the most potent kind of magic there was. But that didn't stop her. This awe-inspiring display of magic sparks a lifelong obsession with explosions in Megumin. After wearing her new uniform, Megumin blurted out her dream of becoming a great mage of explosion magic. Unsurprisingly, her dream happened to shock her entire family. We were then shown Megumin and her classmates' induction ceremony to their academy, the Red Prison. After the ceremony, we are introduced to some of Megumin's classmates, such as a Chunibyo named Aru, Dodonka, and Funifura. After Megumin declared her intention to become a lone wolf, Union approaches Megumin, who was also in her class, and Megumin completely forgot her name and so did the rest class did, only remembering her as the child of the chief, telling her she blended into the background perfectly. Union wants to get to know her better, but Megumin thinks of her as a stalker. She then declared her intention to defeat Megumin, whom she thought of as her rival. After a month passed, Megumin expressed her interest in explosion magic in front of the class. However, the teacher disregarded it as joke magic with limited usability. Her whole class laughs, except for Union, and they tell her to stop making jokes. Later, the girls were seen in their combat training class formerly known as the gym class. They learn that the most important thing in fighting is to look cool. The teacher shows an impeccable example while relieving his name is Puking. Each of them was to pair up with a classmate and come up with a cool way to declare themselves to their opponent. As Union was left alone in the odd class of 11 people, she had to pair up with the teacher, and she struggled. Upon seeing this, Megumin came up with an excuse to not train, and allow Union to partner up with Aru. Soon, it started to rain, causing the headmaster's tulips to cause havoc. Once the rain stopped, so did the tulips, making both Megumin and Union realize that they could have avoided the situation if they knew spells. Later, Megumin was contemplating her decision to pursue explosion magic, given that no one except Union supported it, causing Union to get motivated, and Megumin casually dismisses her words. However, Megumin was adamant to pursue it as it wasn't a useless spell, as she saw the mage use it to defeat a giant monster. Thus, she reaffirmed her dream of mastering explosion magic like that mage. Megumin helping Union pick up a new sword, Union finds the daggers very pretty and decides to buy one. She started flexing on her classmates with the new dagger saying that Megumin got it for her. When Megumin reached home, she talked with her sister who had beaten up the newspaper guy, and played outside. She gave her sister Kameko a lamb sandwich, which caused Kameko to set aside the possible next meal that she caught, a black cat. Upon seeing the cat, Megumin decided to make a trade with her sister, acquiring the cat. Later, Megumin took the cat to her school, declaring that it was her familiar. Her classmates believe her and start offering her their lunches, making feeding the cat a lot more affordable. Union gets rejected by the cat. She asks the teacher to allow the cat to stay at the school and the teacher denies it. Thus, to convince their teacher to have her keep the cat in school, she came up with that the cat is a fragment of her soul, which for some reason worked. The teacher later revealed that today will be a special lesson. He reveals how the Tomb of Evil God, a tourist attraction, had weakened due to which nearby monsters were approaching the city. We learn that the residents have dealt with the stronger monsters and all that is left are the weaker ones. Thus, he wanted the girls to take part in the traditional Crimson Demon augmentation surge, to level through the special class faster. He told them to make groups beforehand. While Union wanted to group up with Megumin, Megumin was asked by Aru, and Union was immediately asked by Dodonka and Funifura to join their group, which she gladly accepted. Megumin was about to invite her, but she got cuckolded, which Aru points out. Megumin teamed up with Aru and Nerimaki. The teacher gives them weapons, however, the weapons are extremely heavy and need magic to amplify their powers. Aru was the first to demonstrate, and she was easily able to pick it up. But Union exposes it to be very light, hollow, and easy to pick up, causing the teacher to -5 points from Union. As the students were too scared to behead an ugly bunny, all of a sudden a gargoyle started attacking them. That's when Buckarorii appeared and defeated the gargoyle, following which he expressed his desire to get close to Saketo, the most beautiful girl in Crimson Demon Clan, making him Saketo's stalker. Then he starts rambling on about how he stalks her and knows what magic she trains with, and why he made the hole that he is in to begin with, grossing the little girls out and they leave. As they are leaving, they see that the city has been attacked, and another gargoyle attacks them. The principal and the teacher save them. After that, several arch-wizards came to their rescue as they defeated the gargoyles using their high-quality combo spells which obliterates the gargoyles. However, in the process they destroyed the city. While everyone was impressed by the spells, Megumin insisted that she would only want to learn explosion magic because it was far superior to the others she had seen. After the city had been destroyed, the arch-wizards come back to their senses and deny any accountability and blame others. The headmaster gives a heartwarming speech, and later, the magicians repaired the town, and life returned to normal. Also, for the time being, Megumin's friends decided to call her cat by her name due to the claim of the cat being a fragment of Megumin. This annoyed Megumin, following which she asked for name suggestions from her friends and decided to temporarily name the cat Black. Moments later, the Neek from the previous episode, Bakurorii, teleported into the library as he sought help from the girls. However, after hearing about his stalker-like actions, Bakurorii got beaten up. Nevertheless, due to Megumin previously knowing Bakurorii, she and Yunyun decided to help him. The three went to Saketo's house where she could be seen training. However, after thinking about the odds, both Megumin and Yunyun wanted to walk away, which is when Bakurorii offered them a free meal. Hearing the offer, Megumin came up with a plan to get Bakurorii to get a chance to speak with Saketo, but he ruined the chance due to his perversion. Upon being caught by Saketo, she revealed how she knew that he was stalking her for a long time, leading her to believe that he hated her. That's when a horde of monsters attacked the group. Bakurorii, in an attempt to impress Saketo, uses his advanced magic spell on the monsters. However, Saketo gets caught up in the same. Later, Saketo decided to give Bakurorii a free fortune reading. The latter took advantage of the opportunity to learn about his future lover, but no one showed up in Saketo's crystal ball. This shattered Bakurorii's heart as he ran away from the fortune teller's house. But later, Saketo revealed how the crystal ball does not show any answers involving the fortune teller, hinting that the former could be Bakurorii's future lover. Yunyun acting oddly, as if something was wrong with her. Things seemed weird after Yunyun failed to rank in the top 3 in their latest test. Bakurorii arrived and informed them about the Dark God and how his minions have made lives difficult for them. While opening the seal and defeating the Dark God as a collective seemed to be the obvious thing to do, the village sealed the Dark God so that they could sound cool, defying any logic. The next day, Megumin left for school when Kameko decided to go out. At school, Megumin observed Funifura and Dodonka getting money from Yunyun as she tried to help Funifura by taking medicine for the same. After creating the healing potion, Megumin gave it to Funifura and demanded that the duo return Yunyun's money. Both Megumin and Yunyun knew that Dodonka and Funifura were extorting money. Nevertheless, Yunyun, in need of friends, gave them the money anyway. While they did return the money, the pair were adamant that Megumin had stronger feelings for Yunyun other than her claim to be her rival. Megumin then handed Yunyun her money back. Megumin found out that Yunyun had purposely scored fewer marks on the test to graduate alongside Megumin. Megumin was annoyed as she wanted to master explosion magic, and the two could have graduated together regardless. Their exchange led to a fight, which, for the first time, Yunyun managed to win. Soon after, Megumin told Yunyun how she wanted to master explosion magic after she witnessed a mage perform the same. That's when the minions of the Dark God started attacking the village. Megumin instantly decided to run home with Yunyun to check on Kameko. However, the latter was nowhere to be found. Kameko meeting the Dark God Wolbach's right-hand man, Host. Kameko helps Host solve a puzzle, and they become friends. Kameko meets Host the next day and brings him food she stole from Bakakori's shop. Host tells Kameko he needs something else to break the seal for the puzzle, so he flies away to look for a hen and a chick. This is when Kameko finds Inky for the first time, leading to her showing Ink to Megumin. In the present, Megumin and Yunyun search Megumin's house and question Kameko's whereabouts. They head outside and notice two monsters trying to steal Ink. Megumin plans to build a grave for Inky, but Yunyun tells her not to give up so soon. Megumin attempts to save Ink from the monsters but fails miserably. The monsters take Ink and flee. Megumin tells Yunyun they'll worry about Inky later since they should locate her sister first. Yunyun and Megumin find Kameko in the forest along with the monsters who kidnapped Inky. Yunyun and Megumin pull out their adventurer cards, but Megumin doesn't want to use her skill points since it may take her decades to learn explosion magic. Yunyun uses her skill points to give herself access to lightning magic. Yunyun stays behind to fight the monsters and save Ink. Megumin tells Kameko to stay at her side because she plans to return and help Yunyun. Megumin and Kameko hide behind bushes and notice Yunyun saving Ink from the monsters. Megumin catches Yunyun before she falls from using intermediate level magic to wipe out the monsters. Yunyun says Megumin won't need to learn magic now that she's defeated the monsters, allowing Megumin to save her skill points for explosion magic. Although Yunyun doesn't think it's a great idea for Megumin to learn explosion magic, she doesn't want Megumin to give up on her dreams. Megumin and Yunyun notice a herd of monsters heading their way and realize the teachers are leading them to their location. Yunyun believes the adults plan to lead them here so they can unleash a powerful spell that'll wipe them all out. Megumin plans to leave Yunyun behind, but Inky catches her attention. Megumin realizes they're getting attacked because Inky is with them. Megumin believes Inky's connected to the Dark God and her minions. Since they're in a tight bind, Megumin plans to learn magic to help them escape. Although she's never used magic before, Megumin says her Crimson Demon instincts help her understand how it flows through her body. She looks at her adventurer's card and notices she has enough skill points to learn explosion magic, thanks to her murdering the second duck from the previous episode. Megumin obliterates the monsters with her newfound magic and falls to the ground. Megumin confirms the adults rush to her, Yunyun, and Kameko's aid. Afterward, Megumin and Yunyun are on top of the school's roof. Yunyun tells Megumin her explosion magic had caused the Dark God's seal to break. However, Megumin knows Kameko is the one who helped Host break the seal, but the adults don't want to believe her. Megumin confirms the adults don't know she knows how to use explosion magic either. Megumin and Yunyun visit their school over the weekend and learn they'll be graduating by themselves since they learned magic. Megumin tells Yunyun she'll be heading on an adventure as soon as she makes enough money. Yunyun suggests Megumin take Inky with her, and Megumin agrees since it'd be cool to have a dark god as a servant. The episode closes with Megumin giving Ink the name Chomusuke. Then we receive a montage of the girls performing work and not enjoying it. Yunyun comforts Megumin and promises her she'll find them better paying jobs that aren't a hassle to complete. Megumin asks Yunyun to follow her, where we see Megumin perform an explosion. She tells Yunyun she needs to perform it once a night, or she'll die. Helpless, Megumin asks Yunyun to carry her home. Suddenly, Bakakori arrives and says he's looking for the mad exploder and heard an explosion nearby. Megumin lies to Bakakori in order to get out of trouble. They return to Megumin's home, and Megumin asks Yunyun to help her with job hunting tomorrow. A robed person named Arns arrives at Megumin's home and greets Chomusuke. Arns says she'd like to devote her existence to Chomusuke and dedicate her life to protecting her. Chomusuke doesn't show interest, and neither does Megumin. Arns promises Megumin 300,000 Eris if she lets her take Chomusuke off her hands. Chomusuke's resistant to begin with, so Arns plans to stop by tomorrow to collect her. Yunyun is shocked by Megumin's willingness to give Chomusuke up in the morning. Arns arrives to collect Chomusuke and thanks Megumin for being a great caretaker. Megumin hands Chomusuke over. Chomusuke pulls on Arns's hood, revealing Arns's horns, and Yunyun and Megumin are shocked to discover she's a high-ranked demon. Arns promises she's only here for Chomusuke, but Yunyun and Megumin refuse to hand her over. Arns faints for some reason, so Megumin and Yunyun take her inside. Arns explains she feels trapped inside some weird energy field and that evil men attract themselves to her during her journey. Each encounter led to them breaking promises with her. Arns calls out to Chomusuke, but she refuses to leave. Suddenly, Bakakori arrives because of Arns's presence. Megumin tells Bakakori that Arns is the mad exploder, and he summons his worthless male companions to chase Arns away from the village. At night, Megumin asks Yunyun to keep Chomusuke at her place and reveals she plans to leave on her journey with Arns's 300,000 Eris. Megumin tells Yunyun she won't return to the village after she meets the mage from her childhood. She states she'll probably meet reliable companions who'll help her slay the Demon King so she can ascend his throne. Yunyun confirms she still wants to become the village chief once she's learned advanced magic. Yunyun plans to stop Megumin if she becomes the new Demon King, and she eventually leaves. The episode closes with Megumin teleporting to Arkanrisha. Megumin, worrying about finding work to pay for her next traveling destination after Arkanrisha. Megumin overhears a woman screaming and rushes to her aid. The woman fabricates a story that makes it look like she's in danger. Megumin boasts about herself, allowing the girl to flee. The men tell Megumin that woman was an Axis cultist who committed several crimes. The woman returns with an officer and tells her a lie to escape the scene with Megumin. She introduces herself as Cecily, a priest with the religious order of Axis. Cecily convinces Megumin to visit the Axis sect by promising her food. Megumin eats her meal alongside Cecily and meets the archpriest, Father Zesta. Zesta tells Megumin she can reside here until she finds work. Megumin thanks Zesta and continues eating. One of Zesta's men informs him about their sector's low conversion rates and argues it's the Eris cult's fault. Megumin offers to help Zesta by improving the Axis sect's conversion rates. Megumin conjures and performs two plans, but they fail miserably. Megumin explains why she's traveling alone to Zesta. Zesta recalls hearing about the woman Megumin's searching for and says she runs a magic item shop in Axel. With this information, Megumin's determined to help Zesta with his recruiting efforts. Zesta spots a girl wandering the streets, and Megumin proceeds with her new plan. She realizes it's Yunyun and explains her dilemma to her. Yunyun explains she's visiting Arkanrisha because Konosuba misses Megumin. Zetsa butts into their conversation and confirms his working relationship with Megumin. Yunyun tells Megumin it might be a bad idea for her to work with them, but Megumin already knows that. Suddenly, a knight and guards plan to arrest Zesta. Cecily arrives and wonders if it has to be due to Zesta's perverted antics. The pink-haired knight confirms Zesta's being charged with conspiracy to commit treason. They take Zesta away after giving him a thorough explanation. Cecily wonders what will happen to the Axis order now that Zesta's been arrested. Megumin asks Yunyun if she knows anything about the accusations. Yunyun explains Soketo asked her to deliver a letter of prophecy to Arkanrisha. The episode closes with Megumin pondering. Yunyun apologizing for delivering the letter. Cecily tells her not to worry since Father Zesta is probably having the time of his life. Cecily asks Megumin and Yunyun if they want her to collect votes. We receive a montage of different members of the Axis order holding a campaign to become the new leader. After Megumin and Yunyun help Cecily sabotage some nominees, she asks them to follow her to several inns. After visiting an inn, Megumin is baffled by Devil King's forces when they put slime mix into the hot springs. They arrive at the area where the spring water from the mountains is collected. Cecily confirms the Axis order runs this area while Yunyun reminds her this is where the strange occurrences involving Father Zesta began. Megumin says it's best to search the location for evidence to see if Zesta is guilty of his crimes. Suddenly, they hear Father Zesta arguing against his charges. The girls meet Zesta as he's arguing with the lady who arrested him. Zesta tells the girls he's been released as the woman beside him apologizes. Zesta asks the woman to give the woman with glasses his thanks for clearing his name with the lie-detecting magic device. Megumin wonders who poured the powder into the springs if it wasn't Father Zesta. Arns bump into Megumin and company and still wants to take Komusk from them. Arns and Father Zesta engage in combat. Zesta's upset because he values Arns' dashing appearance but knows the Axis Order doesn't take kindly to demonic entities. Cecily and other members of the cult stand by Zesta's side. They believe Arns is responsible for the inn's hot springs sabotage incident. Arns flee after being hunted down by the Axis cult. Even though she didn't do it, Megumin and Union leave and no longer want anything to do with the Axis cult. Megumin visits the hot springs with Cecily, and she confirms Father Zesta committed the crime. He mixed the baking soda with the slime mix when he was cleaning up. She tells Megumin not to tell anyone about this. Cecily explains why the hot springs look the way they are and wishes the rings were wider. Megumin uses explosion magic to make the hot springs more expansive. Father Zesta thanks Megumin for her help with the hot springs and asks her to take a trip here in the future. Megumin says she'd like to stop by Arkanrisha with her future allies. Father Zesta casts Aqua's divine protection spell on Megumin, and Union asks if he could do the same for her. He refuses because her letter got him in trouble. Cecily hands Megumin some Axis cult recruitment applications to hand out to Axel's residents. Megumin throws them at Cecily. Megumin and Union head on the coach for Axel. The episode closes with Megumin vowing to make Axel her base of operations and a place where she'll recruit her future allies. Megumin telling Union not to worry about monsters attacking them while they're on their way to Axel. A woman and her child stop Megumin and Union from arguing over seats. She asks them if they plan to be adventurers, and Megumin confirms they do. Megumin tells Union it'd be best for them to find traveling companions. After showboating, the carriage stops, and the crew asks Megumin and Union to take care of a few monsters. Megumin and Union discover they'll be fighting an earthworm monster and are startled. Union uses her fireball spell to defeat it to prevent Megumin from using her explosion magic. The crew informs the girls there are more earthworms, scaring them further. Everyone eats a delicious meal at night, and the crew thanks Union for handling the earthworms, making Megumin jealous. The woman's daughter comforts Megumin and asks if she's stronger than Union. Megumin confirms she is and promises to showcase her true strength if another monster interferes with their quest for Axel. Arns show up with a plan to take Komusuk from Megumin and Union. Arns confirms all the monsters were doing, upsetting Megumin since Arns' monsters made her look inferior to Union. Megumin throws Komusuk into the air to bait Arns to fly and retrieve her. Union attempts to stop Megumin from using her explosion magic to blow Komusuk and Arns up. Arns prepares to destroy Megumin and Union with a large magic ball. Megumin notices she's wearing a bracelet from her father's shop and thanks Arns for buying from them. This makes Arns angrier because it's Megumin's father's fault that terrible men are attracted to her. Union prays to multiple gods to save them from Arns' wrath. Suddenly, they all sense a divine presence hurling toward Axel. Komusuk uses this opportunity to get free from Arns' grasp. Union catches Komusuk, allowing Megumin to use her explosion magic to defeat Arns. Megumin wakes up in the carriage, and the carriage owner and little girl thank her for her help with Arns. Union tells her it's best if they don't wind up at the same parties. However, she warns Megumin that she plans to train hard to settle things with her when she's learned advanced magic. The episode concludes with Megumin and Union arriving at Axel. Megumin, Union, and Komusuk looking for party members at the Adventurers Guild. A receptionist notices Megumin and Union arrive early and approaches them. Megumin and Union follow her to the reception desk so she can explain how they can use their adventurer cards. However, Megumin wants to hear her out later because she wants to wait until more people are around. Later, Megumin approaches the receptionist, and she's bewildered by Megumin's incredible stats and power. Everyone in the guild looks at Megumin, and she's happy people aren't looking down upon her. The woman says her powers aren't as great as someone else's but confirms Megumin can accept work now. Megumin questions the receptionist about the girl, and she says the girl is an archpriest with low intelligence but high magical stats. After speaking with the receptionist, Megumin looks for party members. While looking for a new quest to tackle in the morning, Megumin spots Union's party recruitment poster on the bulletin board. Megumin looks at Union playing chess by herself and feels terrible that no one's accepting Union's party invitation. She glances at a rescue quest for a blonde-haired girl and likes the reward money. She plans to tackle it when she starts running low on money. However, she notices one looking for a spellcaster and meets up with the group who posted it on the board. Before she can hear them out, they all notice a woman and her friend covered in slime prattling on about slaying demons. Megumin's group's a little worried about fighting monsters, but one of them says they shouldn't need to worry since they have Megumin with them. Megumin defeats the slime demon with explosion magic as promised. Her new group rewards her with a meal at an eatery. Megumin comes clean and says she only knows how to use explosion magic once a day. The group says they're willing to help Megumin level up so she can learn some intermediate magic. However, Megumin says she has no intention to learn spells that won't maximize the potency of her explosion magic. The group tells Megumin she'll need to find another party. Megumin wanders the streets again and overhears a crowd excited about a woman's banana trick. The boy working alongside her is thrilled by the money they'll make from his partner's stunt. The girl says she made them disappear and can't get them back, so their boss fires them. A week flies by. Megumin says she's been completing quests with different parties, but none of the groups want her because they believe she's little use to them. A man arrives with a wheelbarrow to pick up Megumin. The man suggests Megumin use her magic elsewhere, but Megumin explains it'll leave her helpless. He recalls a shopkeeper in town having a similar power, reminding Megumin of the one who inspired her to pursue this type of magic. Before Megumin plans to see her, she wants to sort herself out as a proper adventurer in Axel. Megumin returns to the Adventurers Guild, and everyone rushes to the bulletin board to remove their posts. Megumin demands a woman to hand over her post. It turns out she's looking for spellcasters with no magic specifications. The woman says the position's fulfilled, but Megumin can tell she's lying. The receptionist yells at Megumin for starting a commotion in the guild. Megumin notices Union speaking with the man she told her about in the stables. The man asks Union to date him for an hour and gets Union to accept his offer. However, Megumin stops it and questions Union if she's accepted other weird requests. Union shares multiple stories with Megumin, who felt it was a bad idea to leave Union alone. Megumin asks Union to form a temporary party with her until they can find groups. Union's upset that Megumin doesn't recall Union's statement from the coach ride to Axel. Megumin doesn't think it'd be a big deal to form a temporary party because they can work together to make money to afford to lodge. The episode closes with Union and Megumin asking the receptionist for work. Megumin tells Union they should focus on different missions that'll raise their level significantly. They take a rabbit mission. It doesn't bode well for them, resulting in Megumin using explosion magic to defeat the colony chasing her and Union. Host wakes Megumin and Union up from their battle and tries introducing himself to them. However, Union and Megumin flee out of fear and meet with the Adventurer Guild's receptionist to inform her about Host and his goal. The receptionist believes Host wants the Rookie Slayer. Megumin and Union contemplate their encounter with Host, and Megumin vows to return to the woods to defeat him. Union's surprised by everyone's enthusiasm at the Adventurers Guild the following day. Megumin says everyone's excited to participate in the demon hunt because of its reward and she hopes to impress the other groups during the hunt. After everyone performs heroically against smaller enemies, they witness the cursed sword adventurer, Mitsurugi, getting wheeled away. They retreat back to the guild to inform the receptionist about their failure. Everyone fears if Mitsurugi couldn't beat the creature, they can't. The receptionist tells everyone about an archpriest who can defeat the creature and shares her description with the adventurers. They all flee to find this priest while Union plans to stay behind at the guild. During Megumin's hunt for the archpriest, she overhears a conversation between a pair and one of the adventurers. Although one seems to fit the archpriest's description, Megumin doesn't believe she's the one. Megumin heads to the Adventurers Guild and spots Union. Suddenly, a group of adventurers led by Rex offer Union and Megumin an opportunity to work with his group. After helping to put a monster to sleep, Rex offers Union a spot on his team. Host arrives and knocks Rex and his party away because he thinks they have Lady Wolbach in the cage. Host learns it's the Rookie Slayer and not Konosuba. He turns to Megumin and Union and asks why he senses Konosuba's scent on them. Megumin asks why he's interested in Konosuba, but Host doesn't give her a solid answer. He promises not to harm them or the town if they hand Chomsuk over. The episode concludes with Megumin and Union returning to Axel with Rex's group in the cage. Megumin having Union assist her in her new plan to defeat Host. Megumin hands Union a lot of Eris at night and wants her to visit the magic item store to buy tools and a stuffed black cat toy to assist them in their battle with Host. Union returns with the tools and the stuffed cat toy. Megumin shares her explosive plan with Union. Union questions if Megumin's plan will work, but Megumin says she'll make it work because she feels she and Konosuba are responsible for getting Axel's people involved in their mess. Union finds Megumin's plan a bit foolish, so she takes the cat toy from Megumin's dresser. Union admits she was at the guild before stopping by and asked Rex and his friends to form a party with her. Union casts a sleep spell on Megumin because she doesn't want her to get hurt. Megumin wakes up in the morning and bumps into Cecily. Megumin says they can chat later because she needs to find Union and her group. Cecily reveals Rex and his friends were injured and came to her to get healed. Cecily blesses Megumin with Aqua's divine protection and lets her go. Meanwhile, Union and the others battle Host. Megumin observes the situation from afar while invisible. She doesn't want to help them since Union and her allies appear to be holding their ground against Host. Host uses his might to overwhelm Rex and his group while Union drinks a magic potion and uses paralysis magic on Host to hold him down. Host knows this spell took a toll on Union's magic power, so he tries cutting a deal with Union. However, it turns out Union paralyzed herself in the process. Shocking Host, Megumin shows herself and reveals she heard everything Union said the prior night, surprising Union. Host admits he could survive an explosion spell from Megumin, but his encounters with several individuals made him weaker. Megumin defeats Host with her spell as he believes he'll be summoned as Kameko's new familiar. Cecily congratulates Megumin after the battle and says she's planning on going on a journey to raise her level. This would allow her to take over a local church in any town she wants. Union asks Megumin to accompany her to a field. Union struts a heroic pose, declaring her goals. Union says she plans to embark on a solo journey since Union knows staying with Megumin won't help her surpass her. Although Megumin has doubts, she accepts Union's future challenge and looks forward to their battle. We receive a montage of Union and Megumin participating in different activities while they're away from each other. Afterwards, Megumin overhears people requesting the help of 3 folks for a goblin hunt mission. Megumin scares the people asking for help, and they flee. Megumin walks over to the Adventurer Guild's bulletin board and notices a flyer that's requesting people to join their party. She's skeptical at first but notices the group, Aqua and Kazuma, needs help from those who can handle advanced job classes. The episode closes with Megumin approaching Kazuma and Aqua and asking to join their party.
How was the video? We hope it was good. If so, please check these videos. Also, please comment down your thoughts and your suggestions for future videos. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing now to show the support to our channel. We hope to see you soon with another video right in this channel. Have a nice day.